Welcome to another episode of Whitetail Rendezvous, coming to you 6 days a week as we interview whitetail experts and hear their traditions and personal stories of the hunt. Learn more about the latest gear, discover proven tips, and the latest strategies so you can make your next hunt a success. Now, here's your host, Bruce Hutchin.
Hey, welcome to Gear Wednesday. What the heck is Gear Wednesday with Whitetail Rendezvous? Well, I just came back from ATA and I met a lot of great folks, and we're going to talk to Lucas Mashtare. And Lucas is the marketing manager for Arcus Hunting. Lucas, welcome to Gear Wednesday with Whitetail Rendezvous.
Thanks for having me, Bruce. I appreciate it.
Hey, Lucas, we've talked in the past and we get connected and we did some filming on Facebook Live at ATA and that, but I wanted to get with you one-on-one and talk about Arcus Hunting, because a lot of my listeners don't really know who Arcus Hunting is. They know some of your product, Down Windhas, Tinks, Ramcat, Obsession bows, but they don't know Arcus Hunting. So let's just start off the segment and talk about Arcus Hunting.
All right, just dive in. Arcus Hunting essentially is kind of nothing in a sense. It's the parent brand of Tinks, Down Windhas, Obsession bows, Trophy Taker, Ramcat Broadheads, and then we just recently acquired last year Rack 1 Whitetail Systems, which is a supplement for whitetail.
How did Arcus get started?
It's basically a conglomerate of several companies in the hunting space. So basically we have an investor group. We're privately owned and held. So basically they took all their money and they wanted to take these companies and put them together to basically make a bunch of sister companies. So that's kind of how Arcus came about. So they see a good investment and then they take it, run with it, and make it better. So that was the goal of Arcus.
How does that help the hunter in the field? How does that hunt help me while I'm in the field? What does that do for me?
Well, having the brands that we have, especially Tinks, Down Windhas, those brands by themselves are standalone in their categories for scent elimination and also even scents and lures. Tinks has been around for 50 years. Down Windhas been around for a decade. They always are at the top of their class without a doubt. So as far as harvesting a whitetail, Arcus Hunting is predominantly bow hunting oriented. But as far as from a scent and scent elimination factor, every tool we have, every product that we have, every SKU we have in our lineup is just going to make you a better hunter at the end of the day, especially for white.
Yeah, folks, I'll throw this in. When I was at ATA 2019, I did sit and talk to Tink Nathan about a half an hour, 45 minutes. It's just unbelievable, his backstory, and you'll hear that in upcoming episodes of Whitetail Rendezvous at ATA featuring Tink Nathan. But think about the industry and where it's come, and Tink and I talked about that, because formula, they start off with somebody like Arcus Hunting comes along and says, we can do it better. We can bring more products to more people, drive more marketing, and make these products available, because, Tinks is a known brand. Down Windhas is a go-to brand. It's in my gear pack, in my bin, and it's been there for really a long time. But Lucas, talking about that, how did you get where you are? You're a marketing manager for a major brand company. How did you get there?
So basically, my story, to make it pretty short, I served in the military and I was stationed at Fort Benning and Fort Bragg. But while I was in, I never got a chance to really hunt much. I grew up as an avid hunter. I'd fish all the time. I was always out with my dad, my grandfather. So I always had a passion for it and I just missed it. So when I got out of the military, I went to Clemson University on my GI Bill and started taking my degree in sports management and sports marketing. So when I was doing that, the whole time I was working at a little plantation in South Carolina called the Clinton House. And it's actually just outside of Columbia, South Carolina. I'd go help out there. We do food plots. We do events. We do pretty much anything to get folks ready for their next season. After that, I graduated, went to Georgia DNR, taught shooting sports programs as a varsity level sport in the school system, and also created hunter development programs throughout the state. It wasn't truly what I wanted to do, but it was a great stepping stone, great experience. And then I found my role at Arcus Hunting as a marketing manager, and I've been here for about 2 years now. I love the brands. These are the brands I grew up with, especially Tink's, Down Windhas. As soon as I made a switch to Obsession bows, Trophy Taker, Ramcat, obviously I'm a little biased now, but at the same time, quality brands, they truly are. They're quality brands, and I'm the first to tell you, if I don't trust in something, I won't shoot it. So regardless if it's our product or somebody else's, I won't use it if it's not a quality product.
So did you just answer a want ad for Arcus Hunting? Is that how you got in?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, at the time it was the marketing director we were acquaintances. So he knew I lived down in Georgia. He reached out to me and said, hey, would you be interested in a position? I said, well, maybe. And then about 2 months later, that job posting popped up, went in for an interview, and I had the job. So it worked in my favor, honestly. I love the area we're in. My wife and I, we live in Rutledge, Georgia, 10 minutes outside of Covington, which is where all our brands are. The headquarters is for Arcus Hunting. It's a great area, lots to do around here, lots of hunting. Georgia's a huge hunting state, especially when you start looking at Pittman, Robertson, dollars, and hunters actually live in this area. It's right up there with Texas and Pennsylvania and all your major state. It's a hunter's paradise, essentially.
So, folks, recap military time, great college, Clemson, graduated, went to work for a DNR, got involved in the industry, and then kept hunting, kept applying what he loved, and then through relationships. And basically that's what you just said. You had a relationship, timing was right, and it's hard to get to where Lucas is. It's not easy, but it's possible. It's doable. And I guess that's the takeaway I want everybody listening, guy or gal, it doesn't matter. If you have a passion being in the industry, then figure out how to do it. Reach out to me at whitetailrendezvous.com. I got a neat Rolodex, but it takes more than that. It takes going to ATA. It takes going to volunteering at conservation groups. It takes a lot. And then does it take luck? Yeah, it takes hard work, and a little bit of luck doesn't hurt. It's just like shooting a mature, big 10-point buck. Was it all luck? Maybe for somebody, but for most of us, it's a lot of hard work.
It's a time and investment, that's for sure.
Does that kind of recap it up, Lucas?
Yeah, you made it sound really good there.
Thank you, sir. Well, since this is Product Wednesday sponsored by Whitetail Rendezvous for Arcus Hunting, what product do you want to start off with?
I guess we'll dive in. We'll start right with the bows. I mean, we introduced brand new bow for the year at the show, which was the FX30. But I'm going to go with like our flagship and kind of our most commonly sought after bow for the year. And that was actually the Obsession Lawless. So a lot of people at the show actually asked me why we named it the Lawless. And really, I wanted a cool name to start with. So if you've ever seen the movie Lawless, it's about Prohibition era moonshiners up in Virginia who were brothers, and they just ran moonshine back in the day. So they broke all the rules. They didn't care. They were the law, essentially. So Obsession, it's not the brand that everybody's going to follow. You're kind of like the wolf among sheep, so to say. So we always have been saying, be the wolf. Stand out from the crowd. Don't be afraid to try something different, try something new, which is exactly what Obsession does. So this bow really broke the mold, especially in this category. It is the most forgiving short brace height bow on the market. It is 5 1/8 inch brace height, but it shoots just like a 7-inch brace height bow. And then the speeds are up to 370 feet per second. It's unheard of.
That's smoking hot.
It is. The bow's meant to perform. So I went over last year, I was shooting the 7XP. I harvested a few whitetail with it. And then right out of the box with the Lawless this year, I had my icebreaker doe, which was just like the freezer filler, essentially. That was the first time I'd even got it. Set it up in about a week, put about 300 shots through it, and then went up to upstate New York and hunted with it. And then I also went on a bear hunt up to North Carolina, and we did a spot and stock bear hunt up there and harvested actually my first bear ever. It ended up being 468 pounds. So it has done exactly what I wanted.
So they talk about rifle fit. How does that bow fit you?
It fits really well. What a lot of people like, what makes the difference is the grip in the bow. So all Obsessions are outfitted with anti-torqueless grip, which essentially just means it's going to sit right in the archer's groove of your hand. So it is, every time you're going to have that consistent shot after shot. So once you start shooting an Obsession, what a lot of people are going to realize is it fits like a glove. And that's exactly how your bow should fit you.
So let's see that. Just move it up to the camera so I can see how it fit in your hand. There you go.
Yeah.
So how is it eliminating the torque?
Basically, it's just angled. It's a narrow-throated grip, so it'll actually fit someone with a smaller hand, their hand just as well as it would mine. And honestly, it just fits right in beeline where you want it to. Every time upon draw, it's going to sit right there consistently time after time. Pretty much just the grip, the angle that it's cut, everything that goes into it, it's just built to fit your hand. I don't know what else I could say about it. It doesn't torque. It won't roll over on you. It's just one of those things that you want consistency in your shot, and this grip's going to give it to you.
So do you think that's the most important enhancement they made to that bow to make it efficient?
Oh, no. I'd say that's just one of the minor details on this bow. Honestly, I'd say the cam system is probably the biggest change from our bow this year to last year. We introduced a 3-track cam system. And the reason why we did that wasn't just to make the consumer happy, to make the dealer happy as well. So the 3-track cam system that we introduced, but you can see you've got 1 groove, 2 grooves, 3 grooves. So that's what truly makes it a 3-track cam system. But what this means is we're getting better speeds out of it, but you also don't need a bow press anymore. So in the past, we've always had draw-specific cams that need mod changes, but we never had one that you didn't need a bow press. So now all you have to change is this little black ear right here on all the bows. So this makes it nicer for the dealer, nicer for the consumer. So it's an easy swap in and out. So like when we're at shows and stuff like that, even we can take a set of mods and change them out. People don't realize this. We limited the amount of SKUs we actually have and how much mods folks have to come in and purchase. So when a dealer has to get a mod kit for every single model of bow they have, that's a huge inconvenience for them. So now, basically, we have the same cam system throughout all our FX series bows as well as our Lawless. So all they have to do now is they get one set of mods and they can change out any bow because it's the same exact cam system. The draw lengths will change, but they're the same exact mod sets that you'll have across the whole lineup, which is very convenient for folks.
So I'm a stocking dealer. So what you're telling me with the Lawless, I buy one mod kit, fits all. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes, sir. So we've got the Lawless, the FX30, the FX6, the FX7, and the FXL. And it'll be the same cam that you'll find in each one of those bows.
So the cam's the same?
Yes, sir.
So I only have to buy one cam set for each one of those to make any adaptations or corrections that I need to make?
Yes, sir.
You know, like a competitive advantage to me, and got to make dealers happy.
Oh, absolutely. That's what they really wanted. I mean, we might have been a little bit behind the game. We don't offer a rotating mod on this bow, but we do on our turmoil and also our hashtag packages, which is our youth compound bow. But, I mean, for a high-end bow, you want it to look like a personalized option for that consumer. So it's decked out. Like you'll see this one, it's got orange cams, it's got flow orange strings on it. I mean, it is very easy to maintain, operate, and it's really a custom bow at the end of the day, which is what people should have for a price point bow like that, retailing at $1,000.
So are you looking, you just said 1,000. It's not the highest bow, but it's sure as heck not the lowest price bow in the marketplace.
I mean, it's right there. It's competitive with your Hoyts, Matthews, Bowtex. I mean, it's right there. We do offer price point bows. We have the Turmoil RZ, which is $699, but that bow shoots 350 feet per second. You can find that at any of your authorized Obsession dealers. You can find it at Bass Pro, Cabela's. It's out there, but that bow, for the money, I mean, you're getting a very high-end bow, and a lot of people don't realize that. You can get the same speeds out of a mid-price bow as you will a high-end bow half the time. It's just going to have little tweaks and little changes that are going to make it stand out from $1,000 bow to a price point bow.
What have I got to add to that bow? Okay, I've got a sexy bow. It's going to do everything I want. Now, talk to me about the stabilizer. I need a release. What do I have to add to accessorize it out so I can go out and shoot that 400-pound bear?
All right. Well, to trick it out, basically all you're going to need is with a bear bow anyways, starting fresh, you're going to need to tie a D-loop. You're going to have to get a peep sight. Then you're going to have to work on getting a rest. So actually, the sister company of Obsession, which we also own, which is Trophy Taker, which was acquired from Dan Evans. think about 3 or 4 years ago now. It was a Montana-based company, and all the products, a lot of people don't realize is every product under that name, the Trophy Taker name, is backed by a lifetime warranty. So no matter what, you'll only have to buy one accessory for your bow. So from that lineup, we offer rests, we offer stabilizers, and we offer quivers. The only thing we don't offer under the Arcus umbrella are sights, but that's the only thing that we're missing essentially. As far as a rest, this is a new lockup Trophy Taker rest, and this is how your arrow is flying. This is what's putting it all together. This is what's allowing you to paper tune your bow. A lot of folks have always asked for a rest at a lockup. What Trophy Taker's always been known for is their limb-driven rest, which actually has faster arrow clearance than a bus cable rest, and a lot of people don't realize that. So there's a huge advantage of shooting one of our SmackDown Pro Click Series rests, which is actually what this one is. So basically, you just push the lockup lever, and it'll engage in place. And then about 9/10 into the draw cycle, it'll actually re-engage with the piston. It'll allow the rest to fall back down upon your release of the arrow. So it's a huge advantage. I mean, it's got elevation and windage adjustments, and those are also micro click adjustments as well, which is huge for these rests. And again, those are lifetime warranty. So if you drop these out of a truck when you're driving, if you have it fall out of a tree stand or something like that, and you snap the launcher blade or one of the arms, you send it in, and if we can't fix it, we'll replace it, which is huge, especially in this day and age.
Well, yeah, and things never got broken or run over or anything like that.
No, never. Like I said, actually, I do have the new quiver here with me too. I mean, we offer the stabilizers. We offer a 6-inch Buzz Killer and Buzz Killer Pro stabilizer, which is huge. We can have a lot of different color options for that as well, which is nice. This is actually the bow. This was my personal bow this year that shot the bear in the doe with, actually. So this has been pretty good to me. But this right here is our new silencer quiver by Trophy Taker. So what this has been doing, basically we put 2 sets of grippers so you can have micro diameter arrows or your standard diameter arrows. It'll hold up 5 at a time, and it's a quick detach system. So it's very convenient, very quiet. So you take it on and off in just a second. It's got a rope hanger. So you get up in your tree stand, get in your blind, you get all set up. It's actually a remarkable price point too. It's retailed at $3.99. So it's very affordable, very quiet. It's got a soft touch hood. It actually feels like velvet, even though it doesn't look like it, which is kind of nice, but very quiet. But that is another thing that you're going to be outfitted on your bow so you have the most success for your next hunt, which is huge. Pretty much is all preparation. I was actually a Boy Scout. My dad kicked me in the butt and got me to become an Eagle Scout eventually. One thing I always took away from that was always be prepared. And if anyone's been in the woods and forgot something, you're going to know that from there on out, you're always going to be meticulous with your equipment. You want to know how it functions, how it operates, how to set it up. And it's just key to being successful in the woods.
Let's go from the bow to the business end of the equation, Ramcat Broadheads. What makes them so special in the marketplace?
So Ramcat is entirely different. So basically all the proof is in the ferrule, which is huge for Ramcat. We have a patented concave scoop tip on the front. So what that allows
Hold it up so I can see it.
So this is our brand new Cage Ripper Broadhead.
Okay.
So the beauty of this one, it has the concave scoop in the front, which is our patented technology. So what this allows you to do, whether you shoot it with 1 blade, 2 blades, 3 blades, it'll always fly just like your field tip, which is what you want. I mean, when you're changing your setups and moving over 3 inches and up 2 inches, that throws your whole game off. So you want to practice with the same arrows, same tips as you're going to shoot with. So when your field tips are matching your hunting arrows, that is huge. From the Ramcat lineup, we have the original HydroShock, which everybody knows and loves. It's done great on all our testing. The one that I personally shoot is the Ramcat Diamondback, which was our first ever fixed blade broadhead by Ramcat. So it's got the same technology, still have the same concave scoop, solid ferrule, and then it's got blades on the front and the back. So if you don't have a clean pass through, it'll actually do just as much damage working back out of the animal than it did before. So huge blood trails, less time tracking, exactly what you want. And what the concave scoop does, if you were to think of a boat moving through water, it displaces water in and out away from the blades or from the prop, for instance, on a boat. If you think about that, you're actually doubling your cutting diameter, which is huge, and that's exactly what you want. You want a bigger cutting diameter, less wounding loss, and more blood trail, or a larger blood trail, which is big. New this year will be our first ever piston-driven broadhead, which is called the Cage Ripper. So by piston-driven, we've got the same technology in the front of the ferrule. So upon impact, it'll deploy the blades to a full 2-inch cutting diameter, and it also has a posi-lock plunger system in the back, so it'll stay open to that 2-inch cutting diameter the whole time. The advantages of this are, one, no more rubber bands, because everybody gets their hands cut, especially if they've ever touched a Ramcat. Two, I really like the way that we put teeth on the end of the ferrule, because the biggest disadvantage with mechanical broadheads is that on quartering away and quartering two shots, you usually have deflection. So what this allows the arrow to do is actually dig right in, which is huge for a mechanical broadhead.
Ramcat's been around for a number of years.
The founder, actually, he is still actively with us. We'll actually be up in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania next week together. His name is Brett Fulton, but he put a lot of time in research. Actually, an interesting story. His first time introducing the Ramcat, which was at the time called the original, he went to ATA, bought a bunch of those silicone blocks there.
Yeah, ballistic gels.
He went out, took every broadhead on the market, tested them head-to-head with a crossbow right there on the floor, called all the media's attention over and said, hey, watch this. Penetrated every other broadhead on the market at the show, which is huge. So that's how he got the name for himself. That's how Ramcat started. It's very unique that a guy took a brand and ran with it like that, but it was just a very ballsy move, essentially, which has worked out.
Man, that's exciting and kind of a ballsy move.
Yes, sir.
But he already knew what was going to happen, that's for sure. So we get the bow, we got Ramcat, we talked about Tinks and Dead Downwind, which are names that everybody knows. What about the Trophy Taker? We talked about that. Now, what have we left out?
As far as the Arcus umbrella, so far we left out 3 brands. So we left out Dead Downwind, which is our scent elimination brand.
Right.
We left out Tinks, and we left out Rack One, which is our white. But we can hop right into scent elimination if you want to.
Sure, let's do it.
Hey, sounds good. So basically, Dead Downwind, if you haven't seen it, you'll know it. Basically, the guy who was really good at marketing it, his name was Gary Reed back in the day. He did a great job of is the packaging in my eyes. I mean, when you see orange and frame, you usually can associate with Dead Downwind, a bottle on the shelf, and you know it's a complete system that you can trust. Hunters have been using it for years, and there's a reason why they're using it. So Dead Downwind is a scientifically proven brand. It's a complete system. So we have 3 phases. Before every hunt, we've got the laundry, we've got the hygiene, and we also have the field application. But what a lot of people don't realize is the system can be used year-round. It doesn't matter if it's just for hunting. It can be used way outside the norm. I've actually worked with several groups that I did when I was in the military, and a couple special force groups, and I've sent them over product overseas, and they have been using it for different applications. So whether it's rinse-free soap, whether it's antiperspirant, whether it's toothpaste, all that stuff can be used way outside of just the essential hunting situation or the hunting camp situation, which is huge. We've had soccer moms spray out their kids' bags after a hot summer's day when they run in playing soccer out in the field. I've even sprayed my dog off with Dead Downwind after she comes out of the pond or out of the lake chasing ducks or whatever she's getting into. But the system itself is huge. It's actually, Dead Downwind is an enzyme-based formula. So what enzymes do, they'll actually go in, break down the odors that matter, which is huge for hunters. Because, I mean, if you think about it, when you're going on your average hunt, you're going to come in contact with exhaust fumes, food. Your wife might kiss you by and she's got a little perfume on. You got to get all that off you. But you don't want to just mask it. You want to kill the odor. So what Dead Downwind enzymes do is they eliminate odor right at the source, which is exactly what we need. So whether it's in your boots, whether it's on your hunting gear, is a complete system that'll destroy odor, which is exactly what we want. I think Bruce at ATA, we also showed you our newest addition to the lineup, which was the Dead Downwind Dead Zone unit, which is our new ozone generator for Dead Downwind, which really rounds out the whole system, which is big for us.
Why don't you talk a little bit more about that? Because At ATA, there's a lot of own-zone products on the marketplace today. And I think because of who Arcus Hunting is and the brand awareness of Dead Downwind, you guys got a foot up on the marketplace with that.
It's a very unique, I don't think a lot of people saw it coming. But as far as the Dead Zone unit from Dead Downwind, there's three things that make us different, essentially. So the first one is we introduced a two-step cleaning process. We've integrated UV blue light. So not just ozone, but also UV blue light. So what this does is it allows two-step cleaning. So every hospital system and sterilization facility all over the United States and even Canada use that in their system. And what it does is it'll actually suck in waste chemicals, everything like that. It'll actually change them around and make them clean air again. So it'll take the particles that are dirty and fix it. Just like ozone eliminates odor, so it just adds another facet to the whole process, which is huge. We offer it in a bag system with a rechargeable battery. So each battery will last up to 4 hours. We have 4 different settings on the ozone, so it can last anywhere from 4 to 8 hours with one single battery. And then also our output is huge. It's 500 milligrams per hour, which is double everybody else we've seen on the market so far. So you're eliminating odor in less time. And the tests that we put it through are even better because obviously owning Tinks, we have some stinky scents. We have skunk cover scent. We have red fox pea. So you can imagine what we've tested inside that bag, and it eliminated the odor. So if it can eliminate skunk, then it obviously works.
Obviously work. And since you brought up Tinks, another iconic brand, I love the aerosol because I started misting when I was hunting elk in the Rockies, and I would just mist. It would go out there and filter down in canyons and everywhere, and all of a sudden a bull would come up his nose in the air because he's following that scent, and it's a doe and estrus. I mean, a cow and estrus. You know, I killed bulls that way, and I never called. I just misted them. And now a lot of people know it's no secret anymore how to do that. But with Tinks this year, and I would do the same thing, and I would just spray it and then wait. It's kind of like rattling sequence. You let it out there and you let it drift, and then you let it drift. And then when you see a buck, finally you see a buck, could be a couple hundred yards away, but he's coming up on that scent cone. Then you hit him hard, and then, you might give a bleed or something like that, and that really gets them curious. That's my 2 cents on how I've used it. Tell me how you guys apply it and how other hunters have told you how it works.
Okay. Really, Tinks, even though it's a funny brand at the same time, it's whitetail communication. So whether we're communicating with whitetail, moose, bear, deer, all those animals communicate from scent. Familiarity is the key. So natural or synthetic. Natural urine is usually par for the course. I mean, if you have natural doe estrus, that's familiar to a whitetail. So Tinks can be really broken down by 3 different scents. So you've got number 1 dopey, you've got Tink 69, and then you've got trophy buck. Number 1 dopey is really a calming scent. So this can be used year round in any application. What this does, it creates a calming scent. It lets you know that a doe's in the area. So this makes whitetail feel a little more at home. So they're a little less alarmed when they're walking through the woods. Usually if they say you walk to your stand, use a boot pad or a drag rag or something of that nature, you're just acting like you're a deer peeing through the woods on the way to your stand. So it seems like an everyday thing for them. Then when you hop over to Tink 69, really this is the time of year when doe are more active. Bucks are actively seeking doe. This is a breeding season. So this is a doe at the peak of their estrus cycle. So this means they're ready to breed. Long story short, they're getting after it and they're running around. They're exerting a lot of energy trying to find these doe. And we've all seen it. I mean, you mix some Tink 69 in a scent bomb with a little bit of rattling action, a little horn scrape and everything else, and they're going to come running. So it's just inherent that's going to happen. Obviously, state by state, it's going to change. The rut's different in every state. So obviously, the latest rut was probably Ohio or Alabama. So in those states, there's deer chasing. Even in Georgia, last weekend, I drove up and there was a big 10-pointer out in the field chasing after some doe still. So it really depends on what time of year it is and where they are in their cycle. And then lastly, we have trophy bucks. So trophy buck is a territorial lure. So this is more of an aggressive lure. This can be really used in the pre-rut, or late season, essentially. So what this is, it's actually a perfect addition to using your mock scrapes or something of that nature, because it's a territorial advantage, and it's really a curiosity lure. A buck wants to know who's been in their area, why they've been in their area, so they're going to go check it out every single time you use it. So that is a huge advantage from the Tink system.
Any other products you want to bring up?
Well, I guess we have 2 new products for Tinks this year. So we've really just advanced into that Tink's 69 doe and rut theme. So we introduced the Buck Wild pads, which we introduced at ATA and SHOT this year. The Buck Wild pads are individually wrapped. So basically it's taking the mess out of it. They're individually wrapped with an elastomer wick. So it'll stretch up to 6 inches, but it's preloaded, pre-infused with Tink 69 formula. So it's perfect for pre-rut and rut. The great part is it's going to be found at every retailer across the nation. So basically it's $9.99 MSRP, but you're getting 5 hunts at least minimum with it. The felt wicks can also be added. You can buy a 2-ounce bottle of Tink 69 and add it to it after the fact once it dries up in the wind. You'll get some longevity out of it, which is huge. And then lastly, we introduced our fogger system. So this is actually our BOV can, similar to what you were talking about earlier, Bruce. Basically, it's a bag-on-valve system. So what the BOV allows, there's no propellants added. So it's 100% natural lure. But if you've ever fumigated your house when you go on vacation for bugs, it's the same concept, but it just brings deer in. It's very neat. You can do it in short bursts. It's got actuator top, so you can lock it down and disperse the whole can into the woods. So you'll cloud the woods up with some stinky Tink 69.
Yeah, and I like that. There's other products out there that actually cover the scent cone. Depends on the wind, and what I found, the less wind, the better, and just you let it filter rather than get blown away. And deer will find it.
You definitely don't want to be downwind. You want to be upwind.
Yeah, definitely want to be upwind, but you want them to find them. And what I've done, I set them apart, like 50 yards apart from me, further up across from me, and then let the deer come to that. And if you're in terrain, then terrain plays a big part of how the wind carries out that scent. So you have to think strategically before you just sit there and you're in your tree stand and you say, okay, I'm going to blow this out. Well, that's not the right idea because they know exactly where you are when you do that.
Oh, absolutely. Just like humans, whitetail are known for taking the road less traveled. Or you'll know where the pinch points are when you see them. But as far as playing the wind, knowing where you're setting up strategically, that is huge.
Yeah, it is. That's fine. What else do you want to add? I think we've been through the product mix.
I think we have. The only last thing is Rack 1. We just expanded our big game butter lineup. It's 100% Georgia peanuts, 44% fat content, 22% protein. It just brings deer in. We've used it on deer, pigs, bears, but it is natural attractant that's just made for whitetail.
Now, where can people get a hold of you or these products?
We have social pages for every brand. Go find us on Facebook or Instagram. We're super easy to find. It's Tinks, Dead Downwind, Rack 1, Trophy Taker, Ramcat Broadheads, and Obsession Bows. Or you can go find us online at our designated website. So it's www.tinks.com, downwind.com, trophytaker.com, ramcatbroadheads.com, and then obsessionbows.com.
Go to arcushunting.com also.
Oh, yes. You can go there. It'll filter you out to each individual brand as well.
Now, personally, if somebody has a question about the Obsession Bow, how do they reach out to you?
We have a customer service line. So if you have specific requests or anything like that, we have authorized dealers all over the nation. So we actually have a dealer locator on our website that they can find these places at, or you can contact our customer service and email in at info@obsessionbows.com.
All right. So, folks, Lucas has shared just a tremendous amount of information. And so check out Arcus Hunting. Check out the brands we talked about. Personally, Dead Downwinds works well for me. Tinks works well for me and has for many, many years. It's application. And I know some guys that just go out and spray stuff and think it's going to do the right thing? Well, it's application, and there's a whole system to the scent control. And with the ozone part added to dead downwind, you're going to get further scent control that we need, because mature bucks are tough. They're just tough to hunt.
Yep, they didn't live as long because they're dumb. That's for sure.
What's your one big thing you know now about hunting, archery hunting, that you wish you knew 4 or 5 years ago?
I wish I was more patient being younger now. I mean, ever since, not just since I stepped in this role, just knowing that patience does pay off. I think that is going to be the key to it. I've always been a pretty prepared individual when it comes to scent control, having the right scents and stuff for that time of year. Honestly, I would just say being patient and knowing when the best times are to go and what stands. So really that strategy behind it. It's a waiting game. It's like playing a game of chess at the end of the day. So you just got to know where to be at the right time.
Well, Lucas Mashtare, thank you so much for being a guest on Whitetail Rendezvous Wednesday Gear, and look forward to next time.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Bruce. I appreciate it.
Thanks for joining us. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for another episode of Whitetail Rendezvous, where you can listen and learn from the experts so you can be more successful on your next hunt. Until next time, listen, learn, and succeed.